and welcome to this week's episode of the Cancer Cure Me podcast. My name is Russell Peden. It's my pleasure to be your host once again for our incredible podcast. Today, I have something special for you. Today, I have a good friend of mine on, and we get to hear her incredible story. And I really want you guys to listen closely. Her name is Sonia. We had the pleasure of meeting about 6 months ago. As most of you know, my wife, Carol, has been going through her own cancer journey. And as God would have it, he put Sonia in our life because we met Sonia at the Rubio Cancer Center at the time that my wife was having her surgery and at the time that she was going through her initial treatment. She became a good friend and a great person to lean on, especially for my wife and myself. She's full of energy and she was sent by God. We believe that. So I want you to hear her. She's got her own incredible cancer story. And it's not over yet. She's still going through treatment and things like that. But she's also an advocate. She's got a great ministry where her and her husband are ministering to others and leading others to God. And her cancer journey has only made her even more passionate about that. And so with that, she's a little bit concerned that her English won't be so great. But I know you guys don't care about that. You're more excited to hear her story than hear how her English sounds. So please help me welcome to the podcast, my good friend, Sonia. Is it Palomino? Palomino.
Yes.
So welcome to the podcast, Sonia. It's glad to have you here.
Thank you, Rosel. God bless you. It's a pleasure to me to be here in this podcast. And I pray God this interview can be helpful for everybody.
Well, and I know it will, and I thank you for starting off that way because we should certainly thank God because He's the one that brought us together. So, Sonia, would you mind, as I do with all of my guests on the podcast, can you briefly share with us and our listeners just your cancer journey and how it happened and where you are, and we'll talk a little bit later about how you're utilizing your cancer journey to help others get through theirs as well. But just briefly share your cancer journey, when you discovered you had cancer and what kind of cancer you have and anything else you want to share.
Okay. Well, as you say, my English is not really good because I was born here in Tijuana, Mexico, and I was raised here all my life. I am married. I had 3 kids and I'm 100% Mexican. My journey, everything start like maybe almost 5 years already.
So what'd you say, 2020, 2019, 18?
Yeah. 2020, I have that diagnostic, but 6 months back, I went almost every day for 6 months. I went to the doctor, different doctors, different clinics, hospital, because I have something weird in my neck and like by my throat. I can touch like a little ball in my neck,
Right.
right side. So I remember one Friday, I told my husband, we need to do exercise. We need to go to the gym. Let's go and pay the gym or. So we went a Friday. I remember because it was really weird because everybody started like the first day of the week. And I just went Friday. I say today. And today is today. Let's go. And I didn't know like it's Friday. Come on. So I went a Friday. I do exercise. So I had like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 months having like kind of something bothered me on my throat.
Right.
Like when you eat something brown and you feel like the food sticks somewhere in your throat, you don't feel well.
Yeah.
So I always feel like that, but every time was a little bit worse. So I was thinking like maybe I should go with the doctor because I don't think this is normal. Maybe I have something in my throat. I don't know. So Friday went to the gym. I saw myself in the mirror and I tried to move a very strong exercise. I make a lot of efforts So I saw myself in the mirror because the mirror was in front of me.
Mhm.
And I turned red, like, started pushing the thing. And then the little ball on my neck showed out like, you know, and I saw it in the mirror. Like, I was, oh my God, what is that?
It
Oh,
popped
I
out.
was so scared. Like, what is that? And I sat down. I was thinking, and my husband saw me like, what's going on? And I told him, sit down. Don't worry. Don't freak out. But something is
Right.
not okay with me. Look my neck. And I explained him what happened. And we just get out and went to the first clinic we saw. And the doctor, she just looked at me, making some question. And she, some doctors, they know, they have so many experience. And maybe she knew was about a cancer, but she don't want to tell me. But
Right.
her face
Told you
was like,
everything.
oh my God, I'm so worried for you, girl. Maybe you have a cancer.
But even though she didn't
But
say
she
it.
didn't say nothing. She was like, she opened the eyes like big, and she was, like, scared.
Right.
And I told something is not well because she looked so scary. And she told me, oh, you know what, Sonia Palomino, and you need to go with the specialist of this, of that. And she gave me so much advice. So that was like in September, uh, 2019.
Okay.
So that's the way everything started.
Uh,
Next day, every day, next week, every month, like every day, different doctors, different exams. They take my blood out. So I,
yeah.
almost every day.
Wow.
I was in the consultory and a clinic and a hospital, and everybody, they say something is not okay, something is wrong, but let's do more exams. I was so tired, and
Yeah.
everything is so expensive. I
Right.
need to pay here, I need to pay that. I didn't have any money.
Right.
But God, He always do a miracle because some friend told me, you know what, my brother, he's a doctor. My cousin, the brother of my friend, he has a laboratory. So I don't know how, but
It worked out.
or somebody calls me, you know what, Sonia, you remember me? Oh yeah, 10 years ago we went to the same music school, right? Yeah. I feel in my heart like you're gonna need this money. And
Wow.
I need to give you this money. So God moves all the world to
Yeah.
help me out. Yeah, so it was really special. So I wasn't really worried. Everything happened to me. I know God is in control.
Right.
I know God's gonna do the miracle I require. I know everything is gonna be okay. I'm sure that nothing happened to me. And even I need money or I need a doctor, God provide everything. So what I should be worried,
Right. Right.
So I talk to myself because I want to, in my flesh, sometimes I have those like, what if you this, what if you that? And I stop. Sonia, stop it. Don't
Right.
think about that.
Right.
God is with you. So, I start ministering myself.
Yeah.
Like, calm down, girl. Everything is okay. Don't worry. Chill.
Yeah.
So I did it. So, to maybe, and the first month, 2020, I finished in the public hospital and they didn't charge me. And they say we need to do some biopsy, surgery, biopsy.
Biopsy.
We open your neck, it take it out those things you have on it, and
Right.
send it to the laboratory. Yes, to be sure what is the problem.
Right.
And they say the word cancer. Okay, so I stayed in the hospital like 2 days because they say you need to be in the bed because if the bed is empty, somebody else want to take it. So
Right.
you gotta be all day long, 24 hours over there, just to keep your bed so you can be on the list for the surgery. So oh my God, so I was there. So next day I have a surgery and everything happened. So I have the diagnostic. The diagnostic was that I have lymphoma, not Hodgkin's. Lymphoma, not Hodgkin's.
Yep. And that's the same cancer that I have. I'm not sure if I mentioned that at the beginning, guys. So the other thing that we knew that when God put us in Sonia in our lives, because her and I had the same cancer. In fact, when we were at the Rubio Cancer Center, Dr. Rubio says, there's a lady here. She's a local patient, and she had the same cancer you have, Russell. You should tell her your story. That way she'd be encouraged. So I went upstairs, and by that time we'd actually already met Sonia, but we realized we had the same exact cancer. And I told her that, hey, Dr. Rubio healed me of my cancer, and you're at the right place. Just continue to pray and follow Dr. Rubio's advice, and you'll be fine. So I'm sorry. So anyway, guys, that's just a little sidebar. Her and I had the same cancer, non-Hodgkin lymphoma. I had large B cell. I'm not exactly sure what Sonia had, but she showed us a picture of when her neck swelled up, guys, and it did not. I mean, her neck was really, it has swollen up so big. A lot of lymphedema, I guess they call it. But anyway, Sonia, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. So you found out that you can go back and let you finish your story. So you found out you had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. And then what happened?
Yeah, as it's kind of blood cancer. The cancer is exactly in the sistema linfático.
Right. Your
lymphatic system.
Right.
Yeah, lymphatic system. I remember I have a kind of problem so many years back ago. I have gastritis.
Okay.
And God make a miracle. I went to the church. They prayed for me, and God heals me right away in that moment. I was so skinny, so bad. I throw out blood. I go to the bathroom, and I can't say the details, but was so bloody, really bad.
Wow.
So God healed me by a miracle, gastritis. And I remember when I have that diagnostic, I have the pain in my stomach, but was a little bit different than gastritis. But the only thought I have was maybe I start having gastritis again.
Right.
So now I know what to do. With the potato, eat juice potato every morning. I know it's nasty, but every morning, and that you can heal yourself. Yeah. So I did it, and I still have the pain. So I thought, oh my God, I don't like this because the potato, it works, 100% works. Ooh, something is wrong. So they give me a paper and say, you need to do these exams. Tomografías is like talk, where you go inside of the big machine.
Yep.
They put all your body inside the machine. Yep. And the machine, they can see through the computer everything in your body.
Right.
And they told me, we have bad news. You have metastasis.
Yeah, metastasis. That cancer is metastasized.
Yeah. Okay. I have tumors almost all over my body, but the half on the top of my body. I have tumors, different sizes. I had two big ones, really big ones. Like one was 10 centimeters. The other one was around 11 centimeters. And my abs wasn't exactly in my stomach, was outside in my abs, and moves itself. It moves to the right, moves to the left. Oh. Like when women are pregnant, the baby moves so badly. Yeah. So I feel that tumors move, and hurts me so much. Sometimes when I start feeling the movement, I stick my hand, like I put my hand in my stomach, and I press so bad, but I fight back against with the dot monsters on my tummy. Yeah. I try to stop them to don't go deeper, because it was deeper. I cry. Yeah. Was a nightmare. Nothing stopped the pain. Was really hard. And the doctor told me, oh, you had a big problem here. Look, this is your tummy. This is tumors. You have tumor all over your chest, your neck, so badly, your neck, your back, almost in the head, in the back. I feel when I fall asleep, or I feel when I go to the bed, I put my head in the pillow, and I feel like the pillow have a lot of balls, but what's in my head, Yeah, it hurts me. Wow. So what's really hard for me to sleep and rest, because I have a pain all the time. Yeah. 24 hours, I have pain in my neck, in my head. Even when I try to eat, when I eat, food, I feel the food stick on it and I couldn't breathe well sometimes. And I have a lot of tumors and my armpit everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how many tumors. They looks like a bunch of grapes, like maybe 30, 40. I don't know. So
Wow.
much. So many. So the doctor told me, you know what? The truth is that your stage cancer is 4. And I don't know nothing about cancer. I told, how many levels are there? 4. Oh my God. So that means I'm the worst part. Yes, you are. Oh my God. So when I get out, because they told me, oh, go to the window, ask to the lady for this paper. So I leave. So the doctor told to my husband, she's going to have fever. She will stop breathing and then bring her here to the emergency, okay? Because this is going to be really bad. My husband, he didn't tell me that information until maybe 1 year ago.
Wow.
He want to tell me. And then we come back and come back and come back and come back many, many times. So the last time I went to the hospital, the doctor told me, yeah, I have my hair so long. And the doctor told, cut the hair like here for the ears, behind the ears, cut the hair like that. Take her to the movie theater because look her face. She's so freaked out. She's scary. And I need to do another extra exam. He told me something like just kind of medical drill to, oh my God, to stick inside of my bones to look if the cancer go
Yeah.
to the main, what was it, the name?
The bone marrow inside your
Yeah,
bone.
yeah, inside the bones.
Right.
Médula ósea is en
Yeah.
español, médula ósea.
That would be the bone marrow. Bone marrow.
Yeah. And I told him, oh, what is that for? He told me, yes, to see if you done, there is no more option for you.
Wow.
If that's going to, I asked him, if that's going to change my treatment, he said, no, it's going to be the same treatment. So why you want to hurt me so much?
Right.
Oh, I sell $100 each. I have some, like, what is that thing they put in the drill, medical drill? The thing, they have it. What's the name?
A drill bit.
It's like a screw,
Yeah.
something like that.
A drill bit. Yeah. A
Yeah.
drill
She
bit.
said, I sell a smaller that hurts less. And I give you my phone number so you can buy. What. So I was so mad with that doctor. When we get out, I was in the car and I was so quiet. And I start crying. And I tell my husband, you know what? My God, he's so big. My God, he do miracles. Forget this cancer. I don't care if he's terminal or is the end. I have a stage 10. I don't care. My God can heal me. My God can do a miracle.
Right.
Cancer for God is like a flu, I
Yeah.
never will come back to the hospital. And I start crying, like I start crying for the first time. It
Wow.
was like maybe 6 months later, I start crying. And my husband, are you sure? Are you? That is my faith. Don't mess with my faith. Okay, let me pray. Let me think about it, and then because you can be selfish, Sonia. My husband was so worried about me. We have 2 little kids and 1 teenager, 3 kids, and my husband, he was really worried. He don't want me to die,
Yeah.
And he think about it, and then he said, Sonia, I will support your faith. If you have that kind of faith, oh my God, I must support it. Whatever
Right.
you say, I'm with you.
Good
You know?
stuff. Good
Yeah. So he was in trouble.
stuff. Wow. So you left that hospital. The doctor trying to sell you the drill bits. Crazy. So tell me, I mean, that's obviously you didn't die. You're still here. That was years ago, and here you are looking great. That our podcast people are listening. They can't see. She looks amazing. She's got a beautiful pink jogging outfit on, a beautiful pink and black hat. She looks great, guys. And so she's still alive and she's doing well. So do me a favor. We'll get into the second part of the podcast in a minute. So let's fast forward to Rubio, because you got a pretty unique story about how you found Rubio and what Rubio told you after you got there. Would you mind sharing that story? How you found out about the Rubio Cancer Center and Dr. Rubio and all of that, and then we'll talk about how we met, and and then we'll move to the next part.
Yeah, of course. Um, well, I try everything, medicine alternative. Mm. I don't know if I'm saying the words.
That's right. Oh, she tried a lot of different alternative Mexican alternative medical treatments. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah,
she was a very good resource to us guys. She gave us a lot of great ideas, things that we hadn't heard about that I think are good that people could benefit from. So you tried a lot of different alternative
yeah. I
medicine.
was looking for information in internet, reading books for almost 4 years, and tried to heal myself, and everything was okay. But the last year, everything getting worse. I have a lot of emotional problems, mental problems, family problem, church problem, all worse problem against the world. The world was against me.
Mm,
And I start feel like, like not strong to pray, not strong to do nothing spiritual. I don't want to stand out of the bed. I feel like dying. I was thinking maybe that die wasn't really bad idea, and everything was a mess by inside me, my mind, everything.
right.
Because I feel so sick. I feel so bad. I feel so weak. I start to go last summer. I start going to the emergency every night, almost every night. I start a lot of pain, screaming, crying. Go to the hospital, to the emergency. The doctors, they try everything, medical stuff to stop the pain, and they couldn't stop the pain. I have a big tumor in my face, between my chest, between my cheek and my neck. I have a big one, like a big orange, or I don't know, this
Yeah.
orange of that side, but maybe too orange, maybe too big orange. I don't know. Really big one,
Right.
Oh, that thing was killing me. So I have a lot of pain in my tumor. The tumor was on my tummy. So the doctors told me that I have a lot more tumors around my vein aorta. The vein aorta, she is the vein, the big vein is connected to the heart.
Right. Yeah.
So if something happened to that vein, the heart can stop
Right.
the heart, and that kills me. So the vein was around so many tumors, like I was about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, my life was in the small line. I was in danger so much. Once, because my vein aorta was with so many tumors. Second, because the big tumor of my face and my neck doesn't let me breathe well, doesn't let me eat well.
Wow.
I was so tired about that. So the last summer, I was in the emergency, like feel dizzy, feel blind. I had so much pain that I can't see.
Wow.
I was like a blind. I feel thrown out, really bad. I feel like I'm gonna die. Doctors, they pulled me something really strong. Was like morphina,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't work for me. So they tried something different, like morphina cousin, something like that. Yeah, I something like morphina, but wasn't exactly morphina. So it was something different. And finally, that stopped the pain. So next day in the morning, I came back to home, and I paid the doctor and come back home. And then next day, the same thing. So I look for information. I knew a pastor, a woman. She's okay. She was with cancer, and she didn't well. She's okay. And I sent a message, and I called her. Like for 1 year, I was sending a message to her. She take too long to answer me. And I called to the hospital. I called to the doctor. I see the name of the clinic. I see the name of the doctor. And I always make so many questions to myself. If a doctor tells me something, I don't answer right away. Like, yes, doctor, whatever you say. Never. I
Right.
thought, let's see if this is true. Let's go and find some information because I don't trust nobody,
Right.
only God. So I saw some very interesting interviews of the Dr. Geronimo.
Rubio.
That's the owner of the
Rubio.
clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gerardo
Geronimo
Rubio. Right.
Rubio. Yeah, that's him. So I see that he is a doctor, specialist in cancer, oncologo. He is also científico, scientist, or what is the word?
Scientist. He's a
Yeah,
scientist.
yeah,
He's,
and
he's,
immunologo. That's a specialist in immunología.
so he is a, I'm so just to clarify, guys, he is an oncologist, right? And then he's also a specialist in immunotherapy and immunology, and he's also a scientist. And so, yeah, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, he's so smart, and he never stopped. He learned something, and he don't stop. He continue more and more. He has his own laboratory.
Yep.
Laboratory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Laboratory. Yep.
So that blew my mind. Like, whoa, this doctor is so different than the other doctor. Oh my God, I need to see this doctor because I fight back with all doctors. They hate me. They say, oh, this woman, he always makes a question. She don't want to do this. She want to do that. Oh my God, I can't deal with this patient. You know, the all doctors, they were so frustrated with me.
Right.
And I was mad with all the doctors. I don't like them.
Right.
Yes, because doctors, they say, I have this drug and I have this knife, and this gonna charge the so much $1,000,000. Like,
Right.
what? I'm not agree with you.
Right.
No? There gotta be something else. Why so expensive?
Right.
I need to sell maybe a kidney to pay you. Come on, this is not right. So they never have a kind of patient like me.
Right.
Because they saying some diagnostic and I refute back like, no, I don't think so, because I read a book and I say a doctor, I say the name of the doctor, that I saw an interview and conference, the doctor say this and that, so I'm not agree with you, doctor. Like, oh, really? Well, don't but understand me. What I mean, what I'm trying to say, like, come on, forget it. Yeah. So I went to the clinic finally. I had an appointment. It was really hard to have an appointment. I tell the lady, the secretary, you know what? I can't wait till you give me an appointment. Give me the address. I'm going to be there today. Yeah, I was so desesperada.
Desperate. See.
Yeah, desperate. So much because I have so many pain. So
Right.
I have a nurse. She came to my house. She is the boss of the many nurse of the different hospitals. She's really good. She couldn't find me veins. I don't have a vein. She tried to put the treatment for in the veins.
Her veins. She's talking about her veins, guys. This nurse couldn't find her veins in her arms.
Yeah. So ella me picó el brazo. Like she
stuck.
Yeah. So many times in my red in my left arm, my right arm, my left leg. Come on, my right leg. Okay, all over my body. Like, come on, I can't. I'm sorry, but I can. I need a PICC line or something like that. So I went to the hospital. I meet the doctor. He talked to me. I talked to him, and he explained everything. I understand everything. And so I have the surgery to have the PICC line in my arm. I still have it here.
Yeah.
And everything start there. He told me what to do with the pain. The next day, that was 17 of May, the last year, 2023, when it happened. I had a big tumor in my face so badly. And I have my first chemo. And maybe 9 or 10 days later, almost the half of the big tumor in my face disappeared.
Wow.
What is the name? Increase? Not increase?
Shrink. It shrank.
Decrease? Yep. Decrease, yeah. Get smaller. So I take a picture. I have 2 pictures with the date, exactly the date. It was so impact,
There's a difference.
Yeah, for the very first time, something really works for me.
Right.
So that gave me so much hope, and I was so happy. And I
So,
was there every day for six
so,
months.
so just, I want to be, everybody's clear there, guys. So she went to see Dr. Rubio. She told the lady at the front desk, I can't wait. I'm coming. Just give me the address. I'm coming there today. She got to meet with Dr. Rubio, and he started explaining the treatment to her, and started on the treatment immediately. And within 9 or 10 days, the big tumor in her neck and her chin had shrank half the size. I'm sure you guys got that as well. I just wanted to make sure clarifying for everybody. So
Thank you.
for the first
Thank you
time,
for
she
explaining.
says, for the first time of all these doctors for years, she's finally found something that's worked, and a doctor that she believes in and understands. And anyway, so obviously we're both biased about Dr. Rubio. We think he's a genius, so we can talk about. In fact, I'm hoping to interview Dr. Rubio soon on the podcast. So I think that'll be very good.
Oh,
So that's
awesome.
May. So May of last year, you say you're there every day, and she's local, guys. So she's coming in. She's an outpatient. There's people like myself, my wife, who are there, for 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. I was there for 7 weeks. So, but anyway, so then you're there in May, and Carol and I come in July for Carol's surgery. She was supposed to have a lumpectomy, to have the lump in her breast removed. And that's where we met Sonia. That's where God put us together. And now we already told you guys the rest of that story. So anyway, guys, so that's her story. And so how are you doing now? So you've been at Rubio since May of last year, going every day. And but as you already mentioned, even if everything is not cheap, even Rubio, we know it's not cheap, but it's still, but God's been able to provide for you. And Rubio was just, I try to tell people all the time, Sonia, that don't let the money be why you don't go to Rubio, because it sounds expensive, but Dr. Rubio is not in it for the money. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
He's not in it
Uh,
for the money. So if people think, well, I don't have the money, well, he's in it to help people, and that's exactly what he did with Sonia, guys. So he worked it out with her, and I don't know if you want to get in the details, but Sonia told us what Rubio told her. He says, "Look, you want to tell everyone what he told you
yeah.
about the
Uh,
payment?"
yes, yes. I knew that he charged well. He charged like what it is. He saved lives for
Yeah,
sure. Because I know many people they die of cancer, but people that go to the clinic Rubio, most of all, like maybe 98% they survive.
right.
Because some people they go like really, they almost die and they go really bad. So sometimes they don't make it.
Yeah,
But
that's what happened.
yeah, so I told I don't have money, but I'm not gonna die. So I prefer to be, you know, I don't wanna doubt we're gonna be dead, but I prefer to be alive and have 1,000, then I can pay.
Right,
So I pray God, oh God, I don't know what are you gonna do, because I'm a woman of faith. I
right.
have I have faith. I'm a crazy. I'm a crazy in God. I believe God. 100%.
Yeah,
And I just went and sat down with the doctor as if I was a rich person. Oh yeah, how much gonna be this? So I heard like $1,000 and $1,000. Oh my God, God, please help me. So I didn't, my face and my position was okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yes, doctor, whatever you say. But this is we have a little problem here. I don't have any dollar right now with me, but I promise I'm gonna make some ruffles or something and get some money and I can pay you. And he said, okay, don't worry, get healed first, and I can make a plan of 2 years. You can pay every month and blah blah
right.
blah. He make
That's what I
a
wanted you to share, guys. So the
yeah,
point of that story, guys, is she said she went in there confident that God's going to heal her. Talked to Dr. Rubio. He explained what the treatment is, what it's going to cost. And she said, well, a little bit of problem. I don't have any money right now, but I will figure it out and I will pay you. And he says, again, guys, we have not because we ask not, right, Sonia? We have not because we ask not. And we ask in faith, God will provide. So she asked, And in faith, God provided. Dr. Rubio says, let's get you healed. Let's get you're healthy. And then you just pay me whatever you can pay me when you can pay me over the next 2 years. And that's what he
Yeah.
did. So I'm
That's a
glad you shared
miracle.
that. Yeah, that's definitely a miracle. It's a different kind of miracle. But anyways, guys, so that's what Sonia's been doing. And I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Sonia. So Carol, she had her surgery, and then we came back home, and then she had to come. We found out that that she did have breast cancer, so she had to go back for her treatment, and that's when we saw you again in September when she had her initial 4-week treatment.
Yeah.
And then she's been back 3 or 4 times since. I think she's going back for another follow-up visit soon on Monday. But anyway, so yeah, so that's it. So Sonia, guys, so enough about cancer and your journey, and nothing because it's a great story. Your faith is incredible. You are proof that if you have faith and belief and walk in faith, I was just telling my son this morning that words have power. So we have to be
Yes.
careful what words we speak because they have power. And you
Yeah.
have proven that if you'll speak life, you chose to speak life where all the doctors and everybody else decided to speak death. You spoke life. That's why you're here. And then you spoke in faith to Dr. Rubio, and now you're still here. I'm sorry, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, the last 3 months ago, or 2 months, or maybe three months, December, Octubre, November, December. The doctor told me, okay, we finished your chemotherapy, because I was every day over there, every morning and the night. I came back home to sleep, and the next day morning I was there every day for 6 months. And I have a treatment every day, and every month I have a chemotherapy, and I finished. And the doctor told me, wow, I remember the doctor go to the hospital and he was kind of worried for another patient. And we saw me, or he turned to me, you're okay. You're healing. You're beautiful. You don't worry. And he told me December that I start remission, that I was in remission. That means that the cancer stopped. I was like stable, and I can go home and just go once a week. So right now I'm going every Friday. No more chemos, just the extra treatments. And maybe 1 month more, I'm going to get the last, again, the tomographias.
Yep.
Just to be sure.
The scans, right? So go ahead for
Yeah,
get another
just
scan.
to be sure that there is no more tumors. If there is no more tumors, I'm finished. And I have my party. I'm going to get a big party.
I agree. We're going to celebrate like it's 1999. That's awesome. And that's exactly, I'm going to go ahead and speak that into life. Congratulations in advance on being cancer free. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. And because it's great. Because we're going to celebrate, because I think right about that same time, we are expecting the same news for Carol as well. So we'll have a big party and celebrate.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you so much, Sonia, for sharing your story. Now let's talk about you. Even before you had the cancer, you have been a woman of faith, ministering. You and your husband have a small church, and you've been helping people in your local community there in Tijuana and even all over Mexico. What I remember you tell us, you guys travel wherever you feel like God wants to send you. So talk to us about, the whole idea of this podcast is not just to highlight people like yourself and myself and others who have been healed or cured, but how their cancer journey is helping them to help others as well. So talk to me about that, how you're going through this. I mean, you are already a woman of faith, a minister to people, but how has going through this strengthened your faith or made you more passionate about your faith? I mean, you are a walking miracle, right? I mean, you put your faith to a test, and God said, okay, all right, you have faith. I'm going to grant you your wish. I'm going to be right there with you. So can you talk about how going through this cancer stuff, and it's not over, you still have a few more months, how it's helped you help others?
Okay. Well, there is this question has so much big spectrum to answer,
Well, let me be the first one to tell you, your faith has helped us. Your faith has helped my wife, Carol, because
Wow.
it's, even though, and I mentioned this to some people, some friends, I said, even though we knew that God was going to heal Carol like he
Mhm.
healed me, and he's going to use Dr. Geronimo Rubio to do it, even though I knew that God was going to do it, even though I knew that Dr. Rubio is the one, he's the perfect doctor. I don't think there's anyone better, but I'm a little bit biased because he healed me and all my friends. Even though I knew that, right, in my head, I still felt helpless. Like what I can't do anything to help my wife. It's weird. You can go through it yourself, but to watch your spouse go through it is something totally different. So I felt like helpless. I'm gonna be, but I know that God's got it. I know that Dr. Rubio is going to do it. But you helped me watching you, listen to your stories, seeing you go through it. I mean, when we were there, you would have some good days and some bad days. Some
Yeah.
days we were coming every day. We were there all the time. So some days we didn't see you, and we go, "What happened to Sonia?" We'd be worried about you, and then you show up the next day. Oh, I had a bad day. I went to the public hospital and they gave me the bad chemo and but you didn't complain. I've known you now for 6 or 8 months. I've never seen you complain. I've never seen you, um, I've never seen you do anything. I mean, to feel sorry for yourself. From the moment I met you, all you've done is inspire and encourage us. And even if it's just giving us advice, try this natural treatment. I remember you tried to show us this blue stuff one time, and you told us about the potato juice and all these different things that you tried. And
Yeah.
but you always have a great attitude. Your inspiration. You never are moping. I mean, yeah, you might have a bad day, and you might tell us, "Oh, I had a bad night, and this happened," but you didn't complain. You still came back, and you still had a smile on your face, and you stepped back there. You started finishing. You're working on her book. By the way, guys, she's writing a book, and I told her we're going to get the word out on the podcast about her book, um, and that way, when she's done with it, I'm going to encourage all of you to get the book for yourself. It's going to be probably in Spanish, but that doesn't matter. You can still buy it, and you can have it translated. But anyway, but she's
Yeah,
just
I will.
my point is, and let me stop talking and let you talk. Is that I'll be the first one to say that you have impacted our lives for the better. Just you are an example of faith and how people should act. You should live like you should. I tell people, some people they become their cancer. Does that make sense to you? They oh, I have cancer. I have to look like I have cancer, to act like I have. You know what I mean? As opposed to
Yeah.
you said, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I may cancer may be in me, but I don't have cancer. I mean, you just decided to have a different attitude about it. I tell people your body will do what you tell it to do. If you tell your body,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm sick," then your body will be sick. If you tell your
Yes.
body, "I feel fine," then your body will feel fine. Even if you have a sickness, your body will still act like you'll feel better. So anyway, but so I wanted to start and stop telling you inspired Carol and I, you motivated Carol and I, you gave us the faith to be stronger in our own faith. And because of you, we are better off. So I'm the first one to let you know that you inspired us. So I know you have more
Wow.
to share. So anyway, go ahead. Anything else you want to share? I'm sorry for taking so much time talking there, but anything else you want to add? Obviously, I want you to share what you're doing, your book, any ministry, anything you want to share. That's all yours to close us out.
Okay. Thanks for those words. You know, I don't know it. How much my process, my story, my pain, my tears, my process uh, is going to help, or how it helps more people. The first year of my process, I don't want to tell anybody. I
Yeah.
don't want it to nobody knows, because first of all, I thought God was about to heal me,
Mm,
miracle, in a miracle way, and in any moment.
right.
But doesn't happen like that. And I don't know why, but the only thing I know is God, he has a plan, perfect plan for us, and he knows us really deep in our mind, really deep in our heart.
Right.
and he knows exactly what we need.
Right.
So he permits things happen to us because that's going to make us best person. That's going to prepare us to be ready for to start the dreams God has for you.
Mm.
I remember when I every year I used to do a woman congress. Congress, yeah,
Conference.
yeah, for women like warriors, prophetic women, racing warriors, things like that, you know.
Hmm.
And every year I find some place, I rent a place, I put some information on Facebook, and people go to the event, and there was a lot of miracles, deliverance, very powerful. So that's the way I move, and I'm accustomed to do it like that. And I like to go to the park, to the streets, and see people with something wrong in their body, like they were sick, they can listen well, they can talk, or they are blind, or they can walk, whatever. So I pray, and then I go for the people. Can I pray for you? Do you believe Jesus can heal you right now? Your eyes, your ears, whatever. They can walk because maybe they use a stick for walk, or special
Right.
stuff to walk. What is the name?
Uh,
Wheelchair.
yep. Or yeah, a walker.
Yeah, things like that. And I love to pray for people, and God healed them right away in that moment. They received the miracle. And then
Wow.
I introduce them Jesus. Sometimes I record some videos. I have some videos to prove it, you know, because I love people. They can know there is God. God is alive. God is powerful. There is not difficult to you pray. God answer you. And I want people know Jesus because I want they be saved, they go
Yeah.
to the heaven.
Right.
So my life was like that before sickness.
Uh,
When I get the diagnostic, I thought, man, this is going to be really easy for God. Nothing happened. I never thought it's going to be so long,
right.
like 5 years, and so painful, and a nightmare. I never thought like that. I never, because I know my God. God is so powerful, so mighty. He said a word, he do the fingers like this. Okay, it's done, So I was expecting for that. In any
Right.
moment, God's going to heal me in any moment, any moment. But nothing happened. I had so many pain the night, and I was about to die. And my husband was really worried. Let's go to the emergency. No, if I'm not gonna die, let's. It's not because of my faith. It's because of God. And I don't care if I'm not gonna die. You put the tumba. Where is the name?
Tombstone.
Yeah, put that I believe God until my last breath. You know,
Yeah.
if I, and I thought maybe if I die, God's going to resuscitar me, come me
Yeah.
back to the life.
Yeah.
You know,
Raise you from the dead.
I
Right.
believe until that second. It was really hard for me that to see to pray for everybody, people with cancer, people they have all over the body tumors in the brain. They were about to die because the sickness, different kind of sickness like cancer, like tumors, and they have approved medical proofs. They were about to have a surgery, things like that. And I pray for people, even like this in a video, because they were in Colombia, Central America, South America, and Spain, different
See.
places. And
Right.
I pray. But nobody knew. Nobody knew that I was sick. And I don't want to tell everybody that, you know what, I'm going to pray for a miracle. I have a cancer. Maybe I'm going to die. But you want me to pray for you? I don't want to be in that concept.
Right. Right. Right.
I don't want people, the Holy Ghost, go away because they have the doubt about,
But yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want people know because I want them to have a faith. And I pray for a lot of miracles. And then I start getting mad with God. Like, you know what, God, this is not, I don't like this. God give me a dream. God give me a vision. God opened my spiritual eyes. I started watching the spiritual war. God told me, pray for her. rebuke those demons. She has the kind of demon, and my spiritual life explodes. But I was mad with God. God, this is not fair. You are just using my life. This is a joke. If I'm your friend and you are like that with me, what about your enemies? I don't know what is worse. And I was so bad,
Right, right.
emotionally, spiritually. I don't want even pray for myself. I don't want to pray for nobody. And then sick people walk in front of me, and I turn my eyes to another place. So I don't want to say I don't want
Mm.
to say it. And God gave me a dreams. I have a dream, and God told me go to the hospital and pray for the people. And I saw in my dreams people they healed, and the demons left them. And I wake up and I say, no, not don't tell me that, God. I'm I'm not gonna do it. And I was crying like, no, it's not fair. You have a miracle for everybody, even for the dogs. I pray for the dogs that they don't die. Like what is going on here? No, everybody has you have a miracle for everybody, but not for me. I don't want this. You know what? I don't want to be ministry evangelist anymore. I don't want
Wow.
to be pastor. I quit. I was really bad, like
Yeah,
pissed
wow.
off, mad. Like I was so angry. Like, oh, this is not, oh, no. And sometimes I pray for people with cancer and they healed. And they were crying, oh my God, they threw out the cancer and they were so happy and they cried so happy. And I cried because I was so sad. Like, oh, you healed. Thanks, Lord. But what about me? She just
Right.
healed cancer. Look at my babies. They need me. I can't stand out of the bed to cook, to wash the dishes, to wash the
Right.
clothes, to
Wow.
help them. They are hungry all day long, and I'm in the bed so weak. I can't stand up to cook. And the house is so dirty. My husband is outside working, doing a lot of stuff. This is not fair. What about my kids? God mercy of my kids, God. I'm not gonna pray for nobody. Like,
Right.
I was
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes. It was really, oh my God, it was really hard. But now, not anymore. God, He forget me. I asked for sorry. God, pardon me. I'm sorry. I was like crisis, emotional
Yeah.
crisis.
Crisis, crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, God. I'm gonna do whatever you want to do. Before I do a lot of miracles and healing, but also prophesy. God give me prophesy.
Prophecy.
Yeah, prophet. Yeah,
Prophecies. Yeah.
yeah, prophesy so much before, and I love my gift. This Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost gift. My favorite ones was prophesy. But then after all this, I went to the movies with my husband because was a romantic week, like the week of the love. We
Yeah.
went to the movies and I feel something burn in my chest, like a fire.
Uh,
Like you need to pray. You need to wake up in the morning, 3 a.m. to pray. You need to be anointing. You need to go pray for the sick people. I feel something here by my inside telling me this. And I say, yes, God, I'm going to do it. I promise I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be rebel anymore. Okay. So I was watching the movie. And when the movie finished, they turned on the lights. And a really skinny guy with a thing in the nose, like for breathe. I
oh,
saw the spirit of death and the sickness. And I started crying because I knew he's going to die. And I feel so guilty. Like people are dying everywhere because of me, because I don't pray for them, and
right.
something moved by really inside of me. And after I start fasting and praying, God, and I call everybody when I know some people are sick, and I call them and they have a pain or they have some sickness and they heal right away at the moment. So I start to do lives and I start over again.
Right.
I start over again doing this, and I want to go to the streets and pray for people, doing all this stuff. I am evangelist, and my husband is a pastor, and I start with him to pastor in the church, but then I get so worse my sickness. I stopped going to church. I was
Right.
so bad at home. and Elman ministry stopped. So God told me, go and preach, go and pray for people. And I told God, why you ask me like this? I'm so sick. I so weak. I in pain. I can't stand up. I can't even walk.
Right.
Why you told me to go? I don't understand you. But now that I'm better, I'm getting better and everything, said God, I'm gonna do this because if I'm not,
God has his own plan and he does everything in his own time, right? That's, I thank you for sharing that because I think so many other people feel the same way. Like, why is everyone else being healed but me? And it's so easy to make it about us. Yes, we may be the ones who have the cancer, but it is not about us. It's about him. We have to
yes,
remember that. If you are a believer, you have to remember it's not about you, it's about him. And you have to focus on him. And if you'll focus on him, and that's all he was telling you, look, I have a plan for you and you are refusing to do it the plan, even though I've already shown you before you got sick the power that I've given you. And now you don't want to use the power. You don't want to obey my commands and do what I tell you to do. And people are dying as it. And so I think that story is so great that he finally hit you upside the head or hit you in the chest with the pain and to just to get you to realize, hey, I am in control, not you. I always tell people, we always want to help God out. Like we're driving the car and we thought, oh no, God, go this way, or no, God, go that way. And really what he wants to do is just let go of the wheel, let him drive. And I think that's it. So we have to remember that he is the one who's in control. And if we will do our best to just have faith that he will take us where he wants to take us, because he has a destination in mind for all of us. And I think that's what you got across today, that people, it's that faith is so important. I believe so strongly that the reason that I am cancer free today is because I believed it. I gave it to him. I've told the story in my original podcast, the first episode, guys, and I probably mentioned it several times since. But my first few weeks, I had horrible thoughts about dying and not waking up if I go to sleep, and I just didn't like the way I was feeling. And I just decided to pray one night, and I decided to give it all to him and lay it all at the foot of the cross. And this was in September of 2013, a month after I had been diagnosed with cancer. But I just gave it to him because I did not like the way I was feeling. I did not like the way I was thinking. But when I said that prayer and I said amen, I never, ever, ever, after I said that prayer, ever, ever had a negative thought about my cancer outcome. I knew after I said amen, something in my body, in my spirit told me that I was going to be healed. I didn't know who Dr. Rubio was. I didn't know anything, but I knew that I was going to be well. And I just gave it to him. So guys, I guess the message of today's podcast, Sonia's message today, is just to have faith, walk in faith, speak life. And maybe you're listening to this podcast and you don't have cancer, but maybe you know someone. Unfortunately, today in North America, we all know someone who has cancer. There used to be a time when we heard about someone who had cancer. Unfortunately, today, everyone, at least in America, probably in Mexico and North America, everyone personally knows someone with cancer. So if you're listening to this podcast and you don't have cancer, I'm sure you know someone who does. And maybe they need to hear Sonia's message of faith. Maybe that's the missing link. This is not to mention to be a spiritual podcast at all, but I've said from the first episode that I believe God healed me. And then my friend Brooks, who is episode number 2, he's the one that referred me to Dr. Rubio. He believed that God led him to Rubio. So this is not a Christian podcast. This isn't a spiritual podcast or religious podcast, but it is a podcast about faith. And if God is using this podcast and using me or Brooks or today Sonia to reveal himself to you or to your friend, then let it be. Then it's not our will, but his is what we want to come through. So if you didn't like that part of the podcast, this part of the podcast, you don't like us talking about this stuff, then this podcast may not be for you, but maybe it is. Maybe this is God's way of revealing himself to you, or maybe he wants you to share this episode with someone that you know because maybe someone that you know needs to hear this message. So, Sonia, thanks so much. We've gone a little bit longer than I had planned, but I think, God always has a plan. He always wants to get his message across. And I think it came across loud and clear. I thank you so much for your time today and sharing your incredible story, but more as importantly, if not more importantly, sharing what God did for you, not just in healing you, but what God did for you in your mind and bringing you back to him. Because we've all gone astray. We've all had our doubts. People get angry with God all the time, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he brought you back and put you back to work doing his work. And he says, love him and love others. And you for a while, you said, I don't want to love you. I don't want to love anybody. And God said, if you'll do it, follow the greatest commandments. Jesus said, love God and love others. And you did that. And then God did his part, and he's continued to do his part. So we're going to celebrate in a few months that you and Carol and others that we know are cancer-free. And but thanks so much for being on, and I appreciate your amazing story. And we'll see everyone on the next episode of the Cancer Cure Me podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast, but more importantly, share this podcast with others. It's not meant to be a podcast per se for people with cancer, but if you know someone who has it, maybe they need to hear Sonia's story, maybe they need to hear my story or Brooke's story or even Dr. Rubio's story. I hope to have Dr. Rubio on soon as a guest, because we talk about him so much on the podcast. I think people would like to hear directly from him. So be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thanks, Sonia.